Bana. Orlando Pirates star Mbokazi arrives late for the Bafana Bafana camp as they prepare for AFCON. He apparently had missed his flight and he arrives late, and Hugo Broos, the head coach of Bafana Bafana, is just absolutely fuming. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down there below. And yes, Sambonani Tobela Dumilang, goeiemiddag, good afternoon, and welcome to the William Moises Show. What I want to do in this video is I want to break down the story and then obviously hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section down there below, as well as give some just clear call to actions for the youth and for the young people of this beautiful country, Mzansi, South Africa. All right, South Africa. Viva Mzansi! All right, so let's get this video up to at least 150 likes. Subscribe if you have not yet done so, because a lot of you that are watching aren't currently subscribed. And let's get into the gist of the content. So in this particular case, Mbokazi was meant to join the Bafana Bafana camp in Pretoria ahead of the 2025 AFCON. Instead, he missed his flight from Durban to Gauteng, obviously after having been given a couple of days off of the big win that happened on Saturday in the Carling Knockout Cup over there, specifically against Marumo. So he only reported to the Bafana Bafana camp a couple of days late, a delay that obviously disrupted the preparations. Now, any of you that are currently busy building something, whether it be a family, whether it be a relationship, whether it be a career, whether it be a business, whether it be a ministry, whatever, God is essentially calling you to build specifically over there, you will know that preparation is a vital principle. In fact, there's a great saying that says it's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than have an opportunity and not be prepared. Like, preparation matters so much. Because why? It helps you, all right, to go through the paces, to go through the process, so that when it's time for you to cook, you do your thing because you've prepared accordingly. Okay? So it's vitally important. So this is Hugo Broos's response. He's absolutely furious. So Broos publicly labeled the late arrival and missed flight as an unprofessional attitude. He goes on to say that he criticized both Mbokazi and his club, suggesting that the club protected what he considered nonsense excuses. Now, there's also a great lesson in this, champ, especially for all of the young men that's watching, but young women too, but for the young men, okay? If you want to be a great leader, if you want to be a great influencer, if you actually want to make the impact that you have been called and created to make, you need to learn to take responsibility when you have done something wrong. Now, soccer obviously teaches this lesson at a very high level. It's just unfortunate that this is now kind of played out the way it's played out, but we don't know the whole story, right? There must have been other things, but I don't want to go into making excuses over here. The point being, if you want to be a great leader as a man, you have to learn to take responsibility when you've done something wrong rather than make up excuses. Because we need to get completely rid of this entitlement mind virus where we think that because we've gone through some trauma or because we've gone through some hurt, the world now owes us something. Champion, the world owes you and I absolutely nothing. In fact, you and I owe the world, because entitlement is essentially rooted in pride. Excuses also. Excuses are rooted in pride. We are literally saying, when we make up an excuse, we are literally saying that the excuse is bigger than God, and that's why I cannot do it. When God is calling you and I to believe, because again, anything is possible unto him who believes. So when you've done something wrong, it doesn't help that you make up excuses for it, or you blame someone else, or you blame that person, or you blame your ex-girlfriend, or we blame apartheid, or we blame the current regime, or we blame whoever. No, we need to take personal responsibility. And yes, there might have been people that contributed towards it. However, you and I need to learn to take the plank out of our own eye first, and then we can help our brother or sister take the speck of sawdust out of their eye. Okay, so that we can judge accordingly. But we need to take personal responsibility when we have flopped, when we have failed. And when you do so, you know what's happening? You will begin to grow. Because when you confess, what happens then? It opens you up to change things within your life and allow God to minister into your heart, to lead you to say, okay, son, my girl, we need to make some changes here so we can keep on moving forward. Remember, pride makes excuses. Humility makes adjustments. It goes on to say here, that he even warned Mbokazi that they would have a serious conversation after training. In his words, the player will come out of my room white with fear. Okay, so very interesting setup over there. So one more thing that I want to share with you today. And hey, listen, have we liked this video? Have we managed to press like Lapana? Please go ahead and do so, right? Let's get it up to at least 150 likes. So here's something that I jotted down this morning. It's not about being the best player on the team, but rather being the best player for the team. Because if you're solely focused on just being the star player, nanani, it's going to give you a massively big head and you stop walking in humility. And when you stop walking in humility, it means that you're starting to walk in pride. And pride always comes before the fall. And by the way, humility doesn't mean that you think less of yourself. It just means that you think of yourself less. So you are thinking about how you can actually bless the team, how you can contribute to the team, how you can move the team forward, how you can improve the team. And by the way, a phenomenal example of this is a guy called Michael Jordan. In my opinion, one of the greatest basketball players of all time. And this guy's commitment and obsession towards improvement is next to nothing. And that's my final thought here today, that hopefully you and I would become absolutely obsessed with improvement. Which means that we're going to have to find out, okay, well, how does one improve? Well, you improve by humbling yourself and not by making up excuses, and by taking responsibility for your actions. And when we do so, we can begin to see some growth. And when we see growth, we begin to see some transformation. Thank you guys for watching. Go and check out our website, kinginme.co.za. Get activated today, get empowered today, get educated today. Thank you for watching. God bless you and God bless South Africa.